Hey everybody, it is episode 117 of the HooperCast. It is I, Connor, here by myself on a Saturday afternoon. Episode is usually out by now. There's reasons why it's not. We'll get into that in a minute. First, I figured it was best to just go ahead and talk about the Letterboxd winner this month for February. For those of you guys who do not know, Letterboxd is a social network for film lovers that lets you track, rate, and review the films you watch, follow other members to get recommendations, publish lists of films, and plenty more. It's free to use, but a pro account provides additional features such as a customized summary of your past year's viewing. Right now, listeners of our show have the chance to win a free 1-year pro account upgrade or extension on Letterboxd. If you want to enter, email us at HooperCast@gmail.com for your chance to win. And so every month we have a code word. So the code word for February was Paul. And the winner, by the way, of February for the Letterboxd promotional giveaway. Crap, where'd his name go? Hold on. I got you. I'm coming. Don't worry. I'll never leave you behind. Where'd you go, you silly little thing? Somewhere. Maybe I'll just pick a new winner. Nope, just kidding. Here we go. The winner for February is Rico Suave, or Suave. I don't know. That's what his email says. That may not even be his real name. That sounds like a fake name, like a porno name. But he says his name's Rico Suave. I say my name is Hooper. Doesn't have to be true, but maybe it is. Anyway, Rico Suave, you're the winner of the Pro Account, 1-year Pro Account upgrade or extension. I don't know what you have. Doesn't matter. Now it's free for 12 months, baby. 12 months of free Letterboxd. So if you want to be like Rico and you want a chance to win, you just got to email us at hoopercast@gmail.com. And in the subject line, let's put the March promo code. What would the promo code be? You know what? The promo code this month is bitches. I'm only saying that because I'm going through my computer. I'm not in the HooperCast rental studio today. I'm at home and I'm looking at my hard drive and I named it bitches, and the little info graphic for it is right in front of me, and that's the first thing I could think of. It's usually related in some way to the content on the episode that we have. Not this time. So bitches is the code. So if you want to win for March, email us at hoopercast@gmail.com, type in the subject line bitches, and in the email include your Letterboxd username so that we know when I kick it up to the Letterboxd people to go ahead with the upgrade, they have to know what user it is, not just your name or your fake name, Rico Suave. I'm still not convinced that's your real name, you lying bastard. But do that, and you have the chance to win. And a shallower email pool in February than there was in January because, we put the first code word out on Twitter. So, of course, people flocked to the promotion. But February was not as many people, so that actually made each one of them more likely to win. So maybe get in when no one's looking. So you don't have to feel bad for me. It's not paid. It's not like it's, whatever. Anyway, winner selected at the end of each month. You can also follow our show on Letterboxd. Just search HooperCast. Again, letterboxd.com, letterboxd.com. So a couple of things to talk about today. It's a shorter episode. I was talking with Dustin because he's not been able to do the past 3 or 4 episodes of the show. And so we were going to record on Wednesday night, and I'll be honest, I just did not feel like it. I just was really tired, and Dustin was busy at work, and everyone else who could back up host was busy and just had things going on as well. And so that, coupled with other realities of life and the past month of the show, I called Dustin and we decided that we need to basically put the podcast on, I'm going to say temporary and indefinite. Temporary indefinite hiatus. What that means is, temporary in that we do plan to come back, indefinite in that we just don't know when. But I don't want to say indefinite because that makes people think, because you guys are industry people or you're interested in the film industry, and when you hear indefinite hiatus, that usually means the thing's getting canceled. The podcast is not getting canceled. So I want to say that right off the bat. What is happening is Dustin's got a new job that he's doing, and he is trying to get settled there and get everything done there. So his schedule's a little shaky. I wouldn't have been able to record this coming week, anyways, because of a change in my schedule. And, we didn't want, basically, here's the thing. We know our listenership is relatively small compared to, podcasts with sponsors, more sponsors, just more of a presence online. And it had nothing to do with the fact that we didn't feel beholden to the listeners that we do have, because we do, and we love doing the show, and we love doing it for you. But Dustin and I do not make money from this show. And so it does, unfortunately, have to take a back seat. Well, unfortunately for you guys and us. I mean, Dustin and I really enjoyed doing the show. But we got other stuff we need to take care of now. And usually that just means we did a prereq this week, or we skipped a week because we couldn't figure out time. But we just decided that it would be best to get our ducks in a row before we came back. Personally, for me, we just thought that we didn't want to put out a half-rate show. We didn't want to just kind of not phone it in every week. And while I love having John and Michael on the show, and even doing a couple myself when I have a lot to say, I find myself in the weird position of calling John and saying, "Hey man, can you pod real quick?" And he does it because he enjoys doing the show and he likes talking to me. But I don't enjoy calling somebody and asking them, can you stop whatever you're doing 2 hours from now and come call into this show with me? It's weird because it just feels, I don't know, I guess that's a personal thing for me, but I always feel kind of weird essentially treating the show like like it's a syndicated national radio show when it's just an internet podcast. And it's nothing to, not to step on my own thing, but I just felt weird, essentially, asking other people to contribute content to it, in a pinch, because Dustin or I were too busy to essentially, I don't want to say show up, that sounds dumb, but to essentially kind of bring it a particular week. So, and personally on my end, I've got a child arriving in a couple of months, and if it wasn't going to be this month, which you'll be listening to this at the end of February, probably March, unless you like to listen to podcasts on the weekend, but which people do, that's fine. I do. I was a few months ago. But if it wasn't going to be March, it would have been May anyways for me, because I already have a toddler and I have a busy schedule, and adding another baby into the mix was going to complicate my schedule for a little while. And so I don't know if we're going to be on hiatus till June. It may just be a month. I'm not sure. The point is, there's just a lot going on, and I need to take my focus, not that my focus was on this and not my family, but I need to take really much of my weekly focus off of this show and onto my home. And Dustin has to do the same for his stuff and his job and everything going on with him. Now, we don't know when we're going to be back. All we can really tell you is to stick close to our Facebook page, and our Twitter page. If you follow us on Twitter at HooperCast. I'm not even going to pitch Tumblr and Blogger anymore because we may just stop posting to that page unless I can find a way to just post to all of them simultaneously. I think I can do that. I don't know. We'll see. So what that's going to mean in the meantime is, now Dustin and I are not going to stop doing the show. We decided that, Dustin and I still like to get together and talk about movies, but we just couldn't commit to doing it weekly for the foreseeable short-term future. So we didn't want to promise you guys something and not deliver. So what we're promising you now is we are going to come back. And in the meantime, I'm going to figure it out. The podcast will still release content. It won't be weekly. I'll say this. It may not be weekly. It probably won't be. And it won't be, we're not really going to talk about current events in the stuff we do release, unless it's huge film news that Dustin and I just have to talk about. But the way Dustin and I are going to operate during the hiatus is, if we have stuff to talk about, we'll get together and record if it's possible. And I will not put it out that weekend. I will put it out when I have time to work on it and get it out. That's how it's going to be for now. Kind of how it was before, in a way, but temporarily. And I will let you know if I plan to take the podcast off of Podbean and iTunes for a couple months to save the show some money. In the meantime, of course, if I do that, I will put them out on YouTube, and I will tweet out the link. I'll tweet out the link to YouTube if I don't have the show on iTunes. So I will give you guys a way to listen to it. And if I do that, I will put the podcast back on iTunes when we come back, and I will retroactively release all those episodes. So, and Stitcher as well. So I just wanted you guys to know, temporary indefinite hiatus, and we're going to get our ducks in a row, and we're going to come back. And by the time we come back, let's just pretend for a second that it's May. I'm not saying it's going to be May. Let's just say that. We're going to have a lot to talk about. And Dustin and I may release little one-offs during the hiatus for movies we saw that we just have some quick thoughts on, just to give you guys a little bit of something. But Dustin and I also want to talk about the big things we usually discuss. And those things include, I think by then, Better Call Saul may have finished its second season. So, I mean, we're going to come back and we're going to have loads of stuff. Daredevil's going to be back. So Daredevil, Better Call Saul, Batman vs. Superman is going to be out. And then if it hasn't been by May and it's been later, then Captain America will be out. Like I said, we're still going to have content. I don't want you to worry about what's going on with the show. Where's Dustin? Or why is it a prereq again? Everything's fine. We just have things we have to do instead for a little bit. So sit tight. Be patient with us. We will be back. And I've got a bunch of movies I've seen from 2015. We're still going to do our best of 2015 podcast with John and Dustin. So if nothing else, we'll still record that and throw that in somewhere at some point. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who has been loyal listeners and who has stuck with the show, for being patient with us and all the not the format changes, but the platform changes that we've put into place. And we've really enjoyed, we really enjoy doing the show and just kind of recording live to tape, minimizing the editing, and to get a pretty consistent listenership. So we're excited to see what is possible for the show in the future, once we have the time to make it really good. So anyway, that's the little blurb for this week. Go out and see some movies in the meantime. There's a lot of good rentals out for people who don't want to spend theaters on what's in theaters right now, which, I understand. It is January, February season, but March is coming up. It's got some good stuff. Watch some good TV, catch up on Netflix, and tune into the show to hear more about what we're up to. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for listening. Go see some movies. I'm signing off for this week, and until next time, this is Hooper signing off. Goodbye.